Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to day one of Out of Time on Steam. I am joined by some fantastic folks. I've got Frederick Descamps, who is the founder and CEO. I've got Jordan Maynard, who is our co-founder and chief creative officer, and Misa Gaines, who does all of the amazing product work you see, and her team does some incredible work with creating all of the things that you guys are having fun with today. Thank you all so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks for
Hi.
having us. Bonjour, bonsoir, good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
Good day, good everything. So, gosh, here we are, December 16th. It's been quite a few really incredible months bringing the product from EGS to Steam. Frederick, I want to just kind of kick it over to you real quick. What does today mean for you?
Thank you. So I'm Frederick. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Manticore Games. Obviously, today is extremely special because we are launching Out of Time on Steam, also available on the Steam Deck and the Epic Game Store. It's really a special day in so many ways. I would say first and foremost, obviously, we're launching on new platforms. It's a consecration of lots of hard work from the whole team, from a concept that emerged a few years ago, originally more as an MMO. And then around a year ago, we decided to change the game quite a bit, do a proverbial pivot and make it even more intense and extreme in its gameplay, refocusing the game around a roguelike multiplayer combat game. And a year later, here we are, actually playing the game. So, and all that's thanks to the super hard work of the team, the genius of our designers, Misa, Ryan, Jordan, and the hard work from engineering, from art, from production, from product management, from QA, and marketing. It's also a very original game, right? It's the first, so one of the very first real-time multiplayer roguelike with MMO features, and so we're also very proud of that. It's a fairly original game. It's hard to be original sometimes in gaming these days because you have so many clones and copies, but here I think we have something really original in its nature, in the nature of its gameplay, the experience for the players. So yeah, very excited.
It's been an incredible journey watching the game come to life and watch just from the first prototype, which was just over, or just the first kind of test we did. The first big company-wide playtest was just a little over a year ago now, I think, when we
Yeah,
when we dove in for the first
Christmas.
time. Yep. So it's
And
it,
thanks, we've always been on Unreal 5, but as you know, we've also developed Core, our very own UGC gaming platform. And so, we've made the game in, I would say, total less than a year and a half. And that's thanks to the power of Core and Unreal 5, obviously. And Core allows us to move very fast, iterate very fast. And Jordan can share more about some of the anecdotes of, but we had a game that was like an MMO a year and a few weeks ago. And then I think in September 2024, Jordan said, I think we can do something a bit different and do a roguelike real-time multiplayer MMO game. And here is the gameplay. And then by Christmas, we had the prototype a year ago. We played it, and then less than a year later, in September, we launched on EGS, and now today we're launching on Steam. So, and likewise, when we decided today, we're also releasing a new era called Solarpunk, and also that was started just a few weeks ago. And the game has, and I will let Jordan and Misa talk about the fundamentals of the game, but basically, the game has multiple eras. Each era is a very large world with different zones to explore and fight through. And we launched a few weeks ago on EGS with 3 zones, and now we have a full new world, a full new era available called Solarpunk, and also built in just a few weeks. So I should let other people talk. I've said too much already.
no, I think it's
Yeah.
fine. Go, Jordan. Tell us all about it, my friend.
Sure, absolutely. So as Frederick said, we were working on sort of a little bit more of a traditional MMO, sort of, slower combat, huge areas and zones, and it was fun. But we were also sort of like, hey, this combat has been done before in MMOs, like, right? Like, we've all played, all the MMOs out there, WoW, even New World, and we're like, this style of combat where you're fighting one or two mobs at a time, has been done before. At the same time, we're fans of the sort of roguelite slash bullet haven slash horde survival genre. And we were looking at the pieces we had, and again with core, it's so fast to iterate and prototype. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if we can't change this to be more like a horde survival, bullet haven type of game. And I very specifically remember, I took one of our engineers and I prototyped the design with him, and we sort of cobbled it together in a few days. And he gave me the level, and I started playing it. And now, of course, remember, we're at this time making an MMO, so we have full analytics of like, hey, how's the balance of everything? How's everything going? And I remember I got a message on Slack from our head of analytics who's like, hey, Jordan, I think there's a bug in the analytics because it looks like in this level that you're playing, you've killed 2,000 mobs in the past hour. That's not possible, is it? I was like, actually, it is possible. And the fact that I've been doing this straight for an hour, it tells me that this is something that we might want to actually change the game to. And that was the impetus for starting Out of Time, as you now all see it and can play it on Steam.
And we're still killing lots of creatures nonstop. So
Yeah, so let's talk about a little bit. Yeah, and let me go about what the fundamentals are as you're watching it there on stream and on Tim's screen. If you haven't played Out of Time, it is a sort of third-person action roguelike horde survival game, but it's multiplayer. It is co-op, and it takes place in an MMO context. What that means is that there's a world hub where you can meet other players, thousands of other players. It's one shard for the whole world, and team up with them and figure out what gear you're going to want to take and then go on what runs to get better and better gear, more and more loot. And we're really sort of the first cooperative roguelike that takes place in that sort of shared universe, right? And that's really important for our gameplay because our gameplay is you are what you wear. So whatever gear you have equipped is what abilities you have. Now, when you're with a group of players, and it looks like, Tim, you're playing there with maybe one other person, maybe it's Misa.
It's me.
Yep.
It's Misa. You share all your stats as long as you're connected by that tether. So this becomes really, not only do you have the combinatorics of what gear you're wearing, but you have the combinatorics of what everyone else in the squad is wearing, right? And so it's really about finding those really interesting and cool interactions between the different abilities that come from the different gear sets. Not just with yourself, but with all the other players in your squad too.
yeah, it's really fun finding the unique synergies between the different abilities, and I think one of the thing that I enjoy the most is the discovery of finding the pieces of gear, because then the next time I go into a run, it's a different game, it's a different experience,
Yeah.
because all of the weapons, all of the gear, all plays very different from each other. I'm using this giant axe, and Misa is using these kind of laser beam drones that are from the new Solar Sentinel, I believe.
Yeah, they're
Solarpunk.
Dawn's Darkness Dispellers. I picked them up on my first. I got really lucky when I was playing earlier this morning and picked up an uncommon version of them, and I was like, "Yeah, I got my new weapon."
Yeah, it's that discovery of those combinations. I mean, I remember specifically one of the first times we were playing the game right after we finished the sort of first playable milestone, where we discovered an interaction between the Tesla towers, which are these sort of tower defense towers you can put down and power up, and then try to get the mobs to come into them. And the temporal portal pants. So what you could do is you could set up a bunch of Tesla towers in the center, put 2 portals on either side, and then portal back and forth between them to keep the mobs in the center. The mobs are always trying to get to you, but then you teleport back to the other place. So finding those interactions and the different ways that the gear can interact and team up with each other is really, really fun. Another example is that there is a chest piece that is a Tesla coil that when you activate it, you can see that tether line that is connecting Misa and Tim on the screen right now. That line is sharing all their stats, but when you activate this Tesla coil, it becomes electrified and you can actually clothesline the enemies. So it's really interesting. If you're on voice with your squad, there's really interesting strategies. All right, let's all spread out. We're going to activate the Tesla coil. We're going to circle around the mobs, and then we're going to constrict into them and clothesline them that way. So really fun abilities like that.
One of my favorite combos is when you get the light staff, Torum's light staff, and the rocket boots, and you go on your sacred pilgrimage, and you can go real far, real fast. One of the combinations I found real fun.
The Tesla coils, as Jordan had mentioned, are by far my favorite toolset to play with, or gear to play with, because when you're sitting in that Tesla coil, it kind of feels just safe, like a little safe haven.
I want to get Surge's Vibrant Vivarium. Wow, I named it, and I can't even remember how to say it. So you can go swimming.
Yeah. When we were designing the abilities, I actually remember this day too. Misa and I were designing the abilities for Surge for one of the new classes in the Solar Punk, and we had they had this idea of this sort of terrarium of it. It was a glass sphere you could go in and be safe. But I knew that from core, we had a swim volume where it was a place we could put down in the world and you would swim in it. I was like, well, what if we actually put a swim volume in that and it became an aquarium that you could just jump into and swim around in? And Misa and I sat there and just like on a Slack call, we prototyped it. And I was like, all right, grab this from the core and put it here. And when we first got it working, we're like, all right, this is what we have to do. This is super fun.
It was so silly and so perfect that we looked at it and we're like, oh no, we have to see if we can do this like the right way. One of our really great engineers, Jacob, went in and did it right for us, and now we have a really cool. You can go swimming in the middle of combat.
Yeah,
it's your little own oasis in the middle of chaos.
But I want to talk about. Sorry, real quick, Tim. You said that the Tesla coils are one of your favorite weapons. One of my favorite weapons is the Vibe Drone, and you touched on this earlier. Every weapon in Out of Time is designed as almost a different mini game that you play. So you can, you can't see my stream. I could actually switch it so you could, but I won't. I'm using the Vibe Drone, and the Vibe Drone plays like an AoE pulsing damage that you can switch to a heal. So if you've played other games, and I'm hoping that everyone in this stream has played some other games before, you might liken it to the Garlic in Vampire Survivors or to Lucio from Overwatch, where you can switch between, instead of switching between speed up and heal like Lucio is, switch between damage like the Garlic and heal. It's a really fun way to play. You sort of kite through groups of enemies, sort of just keeping them in your AoE. But other weapons play completely differently. For instance, the exact opposite playstyle is the chain gun. The chain gun does the most damage, direct single target damage in the game. It just pumps out damage, but it only shoots when you're standing still. If you move, it stops shooting. So you have to play a completely different playstyle, and if you're playing with friends, you can set up a defensive barrier where all your friends are sort of set up a perimeter around you with CC, and you can just sit there and pump out damage. But if you have to move, it becomes a problem, because then you're not doing any damage.
Yeah, you could sit inside of my Tesla coils and help me mow down everything. And Jordan,
we currently got this guy inside of our laser defense grid right now.
Yeah,
and he regretted his life choices.
He did. Jordan, if you want to show your screen, I have it set up so you absolutely can swap over to that. So
okay.
Just let me know. Cool. And so I just got the Draconess's heart, which means
I kind of feel like we both need to take that.
We can now both be dragons.
We can both be. If you can be a dragon, you should be a dragon, right?
Yet every time.
This is another.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is another unique feature of Out of Time is that when you play the game multiplayer, right? Like if you play some other roguelites, survivors, and you're playing single player, you usually get one drop at the end of the run. With Out of Time, if you're playing multiplayer, you get as many drops as you have players, but everyone can take the same drop if they want to. So basically, what you're getting is 4 times if you play 4 player. 4 times the chances to get a rare drop, and if one player does get the rare drop, all 4 players can get it. So it's solely to your benefit to play with other players.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for kind of walking through that, Jordan. Misa, we got really good luck that run, so I want to do it again. But before we do that, I'm going to bring on. We have a new fantastic guest that you guys met earlier this week. or I'm sorry, last week. Welcome to the, I guess, show, Sasha. Sasha is our art director and responsible for all of the amazing artwork you see in front of you. Or making her team. Sorry. Hey, Sasha.
Hi guys. Yeah, definitely could have done without the team.
Well,
The
welcome,
star of the
welcome.
show has joined.
Absolutely. Is there anybody else in game that wants to do a run with us? Jordan, are you on a run?
I'm doing a solo run right now. I could probably drop out of it, but I want to be able to not actually quit playing and talk if I have to. So I don't want to drag down your Rasmus run if I have to do. I can't multitask.
No worries at all. So while we're getting set up here in the next run, we have a couple of questions that have come in. So I'm gonna ask this to anybody who wants to speak to it. And this comes from GameStyle0815 in on the Twitch channel. Is do abilities get the chance to evolve for special elements like extra fire, ice, electric, or anything like that?
Absolutely. So it's a great question. And actually, Tim. I'm gonna switch my screen right now. Give me
Okay.
one second.
Let me switch over to you.
Yeah. Hopefully, you can now all see my screen where I.
So we had some audio issues there. I'm going to fix those. Give me 1 sec, Jordan, and we'll get your camera and audio ready. All right, let's see. All right, now go ahead, Jordan. You should be good now.
Awesome. Hopefully, everybody can hear me now. Yeah, so and you can also see my screen. I'm going to try to get another level up here so I can answer the question. The question was, do abilities evolve and get new features to them, new mechanics? And the answer is yes, and I will show that off as soon as I get a new level up here. So let me kill a bunch of mobs, let me get a bunch of XP. I am on hard and I'm 10 levels behind, so this might be a little bit tricky to get.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Level up.
Everything is fine. How are you?
All right. The bomber boys. Oh, and all my stuff's on cooldown. All right. Well, you're gonna watch me die. Oh no. All right. So the answer is yes. And the different ability upgrades, sometimes they'll say ability evolution on them. And that evolution will say something like new, it stuns enemies, or new, it does fire damage. So you can sort of take one of those abilities, and it will also, ability evolutions will refresh the cooldown on that ability, which can sometimes come in very, very clutch. The quality of those upgrades you get, sometimes they're gray, sometimes they're, green, sometimes they're rare, they're blue. That depends on the quality of the weapon and gear you have. So you can see on my screen, I've got a blue Vibe drone that I just got last run. That means I will get my Vibe drone upgrades will be blue and they'll be rare and they'll be better, right? So that's the benefit of leveling up and getting rarer and rarer weapons and gear, is that your upgrade cards that you get presented during the upgrade screens will also be rarer. All right, you can switch back to your screen now, Tim.
You got perfect timing to see us get an item.
All right, I've been sitting here talking muted. That's fun. So Jordan, thank you so much for going over that. Question for you, since you're talking about leveling up pieces of gear, what do I do if I get duplicate pieces?
Yep, it's a great question. And if you're in town right now, I can show
not,
you if you're not.
But
okay, well, switch back to my screen, because I am in town.
Right.
You can see everybody here in the town. And I will go to my inventory, and let's see if I do have any duplicates right now. I don't have a duplicate right now because I've salvaged all my duplicates. I do have, let's see, a hat that I probably don't want, or a necklace I don't really need. So I'm going to go ahead and select that one here and salvage it. That will give me this resource called Time in a Bottle. Time in a Bottle is used to break through and evolve your actual gear pieces. once they reach max levels. Once a piece of gear reaches max level, you can use time and bottle to increase the level cap of it. So let's see. You can see right now of my gear, I've got enough resources to upgrade my legs, my necklace, and my helmet. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the upgrade station and do that. You can see what the resources it takes here are. It takes, for any piece of gear, it takes the same rarity of the resource. So when you're out in the run and you see those resource nodes and you see a rare one, a blue one, or an epic one, a purple one, definitely go ahead and grab those. Even if you don't have any epic gear yet, because you can actually break down those resources. If you get epic resources, you can break them down to rare. You can break the rares down to uncommons. So it's always valuable to pick up resources, even if you don't yet have gear you can use for it. So I'm going to go ahead and level up all these things. And yeah, duplicate or otherwise items that you don't want, like let's say that you're like, I never want to play damage. I only ever want to play healer. You could take your axe and you could salvage it just because you know you're never. Actually, I can do that right now. I'm never going to use that gray axe now that I've got a blue vibe drone.
Perfect.
Which the vibe drone
That's
is
a good
my
call.
favorite weapon. Yeah.
But the gray ones only give you a little bit of gold, unfortunately. They don't give you like the great resource that you want.
No, that's
gotta go get some good items.
What do you do with gold though?
Uh-oh.
Gold, you go to the mastery station. Masteries are permanent upgrades. So every upgrade that you get during a run, obviously it's a roguelite, right? So every upgrade you get during the run sort of resets at the beginning of the run. You start every run at level 1. However, the masteries are permanent, and these are permanent upgrades that give you permanent stats that will then also be shared with your teammates. So, right? So spending gold on these is also good if you're playing with a squad. Benefits the squad too. So me raising my max health from 6% to 9% here, next time I play with a squad, that squad's going to get the benefit of that max health percentage, which is very, very powerful for playing with your friends.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jordan. I want to turn over to Sasha real quick because Sasha, we're not playing it at the moment, but the solar punk era is very visual and very distinct and absolutely stunning. Do you mind talking us a little bit through how kind of some of those visuals came online and how the team thought about what the solar punk era would look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Out of Time's timeline, solar punk era comes right after the Wasteland. So we just wanted to show that after the Wasteland, when everything was barren and devastated by all sorts of cataclysmic events, there's good stuff happens. Humanity recovers, finds a way how to restore planets to its, useful state. And what could be better is a solar punk, like sustainable, bright, beautiful future. So, everything starts with the research. We looked at a lot of different things, from films to art that other people produced, or we were actually very inspired by work of Jack Fresco, which is one of the pioneers in a very similar style, like organic shapes and stuff like that. And, started back to the drawing board, started exploring, doing a lot of concept work, and then jumping straight into core. What's great about core that we already have a lot of different assets pre-made and materials, so it's really easy to collaboratively iterate and start trying out all these ideas and see what's going to work for us. Again, in a huge contrast to the Wastelands, we really wanted Solarpunk to be like oversaturated, super sunny, like very positive. And I think team succeeded with that. It looks absolutely phenomenal and also relaxing to play and roam around. As you notice, like all the buildings and all architecture in Solarpunk share a similar color palette. Like they all have white colors, golden trims, and our color for the solar panels is sort of purple. So they all have that in common, and it kind of unifies it everything, which I think looks really nice. Also, sustainability is everywhere. Like you see wind turbines, solar panels, all sorts of clean waters and generators that harnessing energy of that throughout the Solarpunk wilds.
You can see it in the class design, the loadout design as well. All of the loadouts that we were planning on building for Solarpunk, and we did have a couple more that we wanted to at one point. We pitched a bunch of different ones, but the ones that we went with were a solar related one with going off of the sun and renewable energy there, and then we also wanted it to be hydroponics, about keeping growing, rejuvenating the world, growing things. We also had one that we were thinking about doing that was related to like wind power, and one related to geothermic energy. We wanted to really sell that this was a kind of like a green energy utopia.
That's awesome. Yeah, I hadn't really ever heard of solar punk as a kind of a genre, but I want to live in solar punk worlds now. Like,
It's our own invention in some ways.
It's incredible. We're gonna jump into solar punk right after this, but Sasha, I wanted to
I
ask you
think,
another.
I think
Oh,
one thing that's very important to point out is that just like an MMO, the game is very vast. It's a very, very big world. We have 4 eras, and as I mentioned before, each era is really constructed, built as its own world. Obviously, each era has its own theme, but it's all composed. I think it's 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers total per era. So it's a massive, divided into 4 zones. That's really a massive. Actually, maybe it's more because it's very big. And so it's also a beautiful world, right? It's like part of the game is exploring. It's of course a lot about fighting, and that's it's this overwhelming, intense combat in multiplayer with all the features we mentioned, like the roguelike traditional, but I would say even more amped up than traditional roguelike in some ways. But it's also a very big world that you can explore, and also there's lots of beauty. Sometimes beyond the combat, look around and you see the world is truly beautiful thanks to the work of the artists.
yeah, this is actually one of my favorite shots right now in the Dwarven Mountains. Is that bridge that we go across, and you can see the hills, and I thought there was a castle on one of these hills. Oh, there it is. I couldn't see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we're kind of near the tangle. It's corrupting our beautiful
it
environment.
is. We should go
We need to
clear
go
some
get
more
rid
of
of
it.
it. Yeah, we
Yeah,
should go
that's
get rid of it.
good idea. Uh, Speaking of ideas, Jordan, where did the idea for the 15-minute runs, or Misa, where did the idea for 15-minute runs come in?
A lot of that is just basically we wanted the game to be like accessible, right? So we wanted people to be able to sit down and go, oh, I want to be able to play all day, but I also want to be able to know how long it's going to take me to sit down and do something. So if I'm busy and I'm like, oh, I got to go make dinner in like 30 minutes. Oh, wait, I actually have time. I can go do a run. I can go see if I get any good gear. I can go make my dinner, and then I can come back afterwards. And so we wanted it to be really able to be like, you can decide, just like you can decide what you are with your gear, you can also decide how you want to play. So like how many minutes you want to do. You know how long each run's going to take, so you're not going to get like stuck in like a dungeon for an extended period of time. Like I don't know if you've ever played any like traditional older MMOs, but every once in a while you'll be like running something and you'll be like, man, I did not expect this to take an hour and a half.
Yep.
And so we wanted to make sure that people like had a good understanding of like when they go to commit to run, they know about how long it's going to take.
Ooh, I love
this is a tough question here.
It is. I love Harrison's time threads are like my solo shattered run boots. So I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, but like the growing amount of outgoing heals from the Night Crown are really good too.
I know.
The Harrison time threads are really fun. They basically rewind time. So you instead of going faster when you use your shift ability, your movement ability, it creates a clone of you. And any enemies go to start smacking that instead. And then if you use them again, you teleport back there and you get the HP back. You go back to back in time to what you were when that happened. They're a really interesting pair of boots.
If you have played League of Legends, anybody in this call, it's sort of like Echo's ultimate. Echo can activate his ultimate in League of Legends, and he will go back in time about 6 seconds, and whatever damage he's taken since then is erased. Now, you can mess that up, and out of time, you can actually mess it up. I did it once where I put my clone down, then I got a huge, massive heal, and then I went back in time to where I was not healed.
Yep, I've had that happen to me before. It's not a great feeling.
Yeah, but you don't have to reactivate it. You just have to remember not to reactivate it. So that's
you reactivate it, then you get a massive
player
full
skill.
heal. Oops.
Yeah, it's
as my 11-year-old would say, skill issue.
It's a pibcac thing. So,
as my wife would say, skill issue.
Misa, you mentioned going to make dinner. You know, you can do that now. You can go make dinner and still play Out of Time because it is now available on the Steam Deck and it plays beautifully on the Steam Deck.
It
Uh,
does. It's actually really, really gorgeous.
so I want to talk a little bit about that. Why? What is going on here? Oh, I'm on hard. Um, Sasha, I want to talk with you real quick, just on the art side of things. You know, you've been working on Out of Time for quite a while. Is there one piece of art or zone or any of the work that the team has put together that you just continue to look back at and just and can't help smiling and just be proud of that piece of work?
Honestly, lots of moments like that. The first thing comes to my mind is Infinitopia. I think every time you log in, there's so much beautiful stuff happening in there because we really wanted to create this hub world that essentially a stable version of the shattered universe where all different themes and eras have collided. And if you look at the vista, you see hints of that, like both all the eras we already have released and stuff we've planned for the future updates. And I think players will they will be returning, as myself as a player, constantly returning to the hub world every day, and I'm noticing new details. You know, something I haven't seen before. Even though I sort of helped the team build it and very familiar, but it's really cool to encounter moments like that. In every wild as well, as Jordan mentioned, like some of the stuff was from a previous iteration of the games, like the MMO we were making. So there's a lot of depths in our wilds in terms of how we built the worlds, how we developed all the zones and vistas, and there's a lot of interesting details. And one of my favorite moments in medieval era, when you turn the corner, when you're starting the zone, when it's like tucked away a little bit, and then like this huge open vista opens up and you see this beautiful Dragon Peak mountain at the distance where the dwarves live, and you see a little bit of the warmth coming out of its mouth, so you can tell there's like some sort of dormant volcano underneath. There's a lot of history there. I think moments like that are very memorable.
The Frogs Village is probably my favorite. Like if I could go hang out somewhere, that forested village would be. Hopefully they're nice and maybe good food, but yeah, that's awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about Misa and Sasha a little bit here. With the design of a new gear set or the design of a new set of abilities, what does that look like between the design team and the art team, and how do you come up with the visuals that accurately represent what a designer is looking for?
So we have a lot of like because we have core and we have a lot of like assets from the previous MMO iteration. We had a lot of like already built like beautiful gear set like gear pieces, cosmetic pieces that we looked at and like, oh, we can make these into really cool cohesive loadouts and classes basically. And we have a really cool process where basically Jordan, Sasha, the design leads, we all sit down and we make a list and go, where are we going next? And so what type of classes, loadouts do we want to build? And what type of appearances from our catalog are we currently looking at using? Then we schedule a brainstorm with our content team, which is pretty large and has people from all aspects of game development. There's character artists, VFX artists, designers, Lua engineers, product managers, animators, so all over the place. I'm probably missing some. And we sit down in a room and we all actually look at the gear, look at the items, and brainstorm the abilities that we think would be kind of cool to do. After that, we the design leads and art leads take that away and compile the ideas and pick what we think is the best for the product, and then we sit down and we start actually writing like full out design documents and moving on into creation, and then we try to get with core. It's really helpful. It's a super good tool for rapid iteration. So like once we have an idea ready to go, we can have it prototyped in a matter of sometimes a few hours, but like, a day. And we can have a lot of the things prototyped and ready to just see if it works and feels good before we even start getting like real high quality art assets in. And then we work as a team and start making it look pretty once the gameplay feels like it's in a decent state. We try to make it really collaborative, and we find that we get better overall gear when we do it as a cohesive team. So It's a lot of fun to do too.
A lot of fun to
Yeah,
play.
so you see that in the Solar Punk, right? With both Dawn, who is the Solar Sentinel, with Dawn, get it, and Surge, who we were looking at what avatars we had to use, and we had the Frog guy, and we're like, well, the Frog guy would make a great head of hydroponics. Let's use him. And that I should mention that you can earn those avatars actually in game by collecting a full gear set. So different gear sets have a different avatar associated and named character associated with them. And if you collect all the pieces of the gear set at a certain rarity, you will actually unlock that avatar that you get to use in the game. So it's really fun sort of looking at what we have in the core catalog and saying, oh, Surge, the frog guy would be a great head to hydroponics. We do have some future eras planned, and we have classes and gear sets in development for those.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, one of them. If you're in Infinite, it's no secret. If you look if you're in Infinitopia and look around, you can sort of see which eras we have sort of thought about but are not in the game yet. And one of them is cyberspace. So we will be going into cyberspace using 2 new classes that are sort of cyberspace, kind of hackery, kind of cyberpunk / cyberspace. So that is going to be a really fun era. That is in development right now.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for this. I just saw the animation for one of the new abilities coming for that era, and if you like backflips, you can do a backflip into a kick now. It's amazing.
I'm just gonna put it out there. If there isn't a dial-up ability, I don't know. Like,
Yep.
I don't know. That sounds incredible. So, and yeah, there's also, you can look at the time map and see kind of what other things are there as well. And so,
Sure.
Solar Punk was our first content patch, and this was the first big update that we pushed out along with the Steam launch. So it's been an incredible amount of work over the past 3 months, bringing an entire new content pipeline, or an entire new content patch, as well as a new platform to Out of Time. So it's been awesome to see, and we're enjoying Solar Punk, and I can't wait to see cyberspace. That'll be awesome.
And beyond.
Cyberspace environments
beyond.
are going to be a real nice change of pace too. Like, I really love the solar punk environments, and especially the music. Shout out to Nick. But I'm also really, it's going to be a pretty significant visual delta when the next drop happens. So I'm really looking forward to that one too.
Maybe we can talk about the way the game was designed, not just in terms of infrastructure, servers, and using core, etc., but as a kind of forever expandable game, a bit like an MMO. Because that was something very important from the get-go, that will allow us to add more content and more gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so the game, started its life as an MMO, and we really do want it to be a forever game. So we've, using the power of core, we've developed it so that we can add new eras into the timeline. The great thing sort of about our universe, about the Out of Time universe and the Shattering, is that you cannot come up with a setting that doesn't fit somewhere into past, present, or future. So obviously we can do, prehistoric, we can do 3 kingdoms, we could do a moon base, like that all sort of works in our lore. So the game is really infinitely expandable. And every time we add new eras and we add new gear sets, those gear set combinatorics then explode and become, because you can use any piece of gear with any piece of gear from any other era. So really the gameplay sort of becomes infinitely explorable, and the combinations. I actually I'm from a game design standpoint, I'm sort of a fan of letting the players discover and find the really quote unquote broken combinations that break the game. There's a couple games I really like out there where you have to basically come up with a broken quote unquote build in order to actually even succeed at the game. So with this content patch, we've actually added 10 new shattered levels, which is our levels of difficulty. It used to go from 1 to 10, and now it goes through 1 to 20. And we fully expect players to have to be able to not only grind, but also discover those interactions that are going to really allow them to get past shattered, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, we've done our best to make it real nice and challenging for y'all. So we hope that it's a lot of fun as you try and figure out the gear sets that can beat those really hard difficulties, because there's definitely like some combos that you can figure out. I'm not gonna tell you what they are though.
Well, will you tell me?
I'll tell you later.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's so exciting. The future, the fact that we're built using core, as everybody's mentioned, is really gives us the ability to rapidly iterate and build new things and figure out what works and what doesn't work. And so, Shaku the Wolf actually asked a question here in chat. A couple of questions actually. But the first one is new era ? New mounts. So yes, we have new mounts, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, every era comes with at least one, I believe.
Yeah, one, maybe two. I forget. I'd have to go back and look and see what it is for.
There's
the
two in
Solarpunk,
this
but
one.
yeah.
I think it's a wolf.
And the Silver Surfer's board thingy. That silver
Yes.
surfboard. Yep. And then the other
It's been
question.
so long, I forgot.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
The other question is, next to new eras, will we have new or different game modes as well?
Yes, that's a great question. It's something we have planned. In addition to different game modes, we also have different modes on the map that we are working on. One is called hotspots, where, for instance, there could be a hotspot on the map, and you would see it from the. You go to the map view, and you would see it on the map, where it's double EXP, or double gold, or double resources, or hey, this will give you extra piece of gear reward, but all healing is disabled. So how can you put together a gear set that relies more on armor and damage mitigation than damage healing? Those types of really fun sort of hotspots gameplay will add to the replayability of the game sort of infinitely. There's also we have ideas and plans. I wouldn't say plans, but we have ideas for an endless mode and other kinds of modes like that.
Yeah, it really is the opportunities for replayability and just unique experiences every time you go in is so incredible. And yes, Shaku the Wolf, there is a wolf. You got to beat all of the normal Solarpunk. You got to be. Oh, we got Surge's filtering
But
face
it's a
mask.
bummer. It's common. What a
Yeah.
bummer.
I wanted to ask you this earlier. Did you alliterate every ability?
That's my fault.
Jordan and I tried.
Okay.
We tried.
As many as possible. The last set, I proposed a decent amount. Jordan changed a few of them, but most of the original alliterations were Jordan's, and I was like, okay, we're continuing this.
There are some people who do not like alliteration. I am not one of them. I love alliteration.
It's great.
Dawn's Darkness Dispellers. I was really proud of that one.
Yeah, I love it. That's when you said that earlier, and then you said Surge's whatever.
Vibrant Vivarium.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
There is lots of beauty, of course, in the game, but there is also lots of humor. But I mean, one thing I just wanted to go back to is the concept of replayability, which was really core, pun intended, to the original design of the game. For us, it's very important that you can replay the game infinitely, and that sounds great top down. Okay, let's do that. But the reality is that it took an immense amount of work. But I think we really have it. And starting with some anecdotes, like you're gonna start with a certain gear set, and you're gonna feel good about it, and then you're gonna see other people on your team using other things, other gear, other combinations. You're gonna see the power-ups, you're gonna see the abilities pop up, and you're gonna want to try them, right? And you're gonna start feeling very comfortable with your gear set, and for a moment, you're not gonna want to change. Then you're gonna get something more powerful. You're gonna change, and it's a whole new game. I mean, even to this day, after playing the game a lot for over a year, especially the last few weeks, I still find myself really intrigued by this duality of feeling comfortable with one gear set and really feeling, oh man, that's so awesome. I'm really enjoying the game that way. I'm never going to change my gear set because I'm really enjoying it. And then you see another person or you get another item, then you change that. It's a whole new game. And then all of a sudden, because your main weapon or your headgear, etc., has new abilities, all of a sudden you play differently. And then you completely refresh your gear set because all of a sudden, based on sometimes just one item that changed the gameplay, you want to change the rest of your gear, and you're really feeling like you're playing an entire game, an entirely new game. Let alone when you combine that with whomever is on your team, whatever they are wearing. And yes, sometimes you do end up with 4 dragons, and it is fine. And it's very so it's something that started almost as a de facto design requirement, but I think we've really achieved that.
I don't disagree at all. I think it's a ton of fun to be able to play, and it's one of those things where when I heard that we were adding controller support and Steam Deck support, I was over the moon because sitting out on the porch just playing this, it's going to be great.
Oh yeah, the second we got into like right when the game started feeling like it was coming together, I messaged my director and I was like, "Hey man, controller support? This game would really play nicely on a controller."
It does, yeah. And so this patch with the Solarpunk also, again, as Tim says, supports controller in addition to Steam Deck. So you can actually play with controller on your PC.
That's what I'm doing right now.
On both, yeah. On both Steam
and while I said that I think this game would do really well on a controller, and it does, I personally am really terrible at using a controller. And so when I tried to play the other day on my controller, I realized how embarrassing it was, and quickly switched back to mouse and keyboard.
One thing
I'm not the best gamer in the world.
Oh, mine's nice.
One thing about replayability and the enjoyment of the game, of course the abilities themselves on the stats, etc. But the VFX on the way it feels, it's really. I should have finished my thoughts on that. It's not just I have new stats and a new weapon and it looks different statically. It's just the dynamics, the dynamic VFX and the audio effects, all that coming together feels really awesome. Like it really.
We have an amazing, unbelievably talented VFX team who comes up with things that like with minimal direction that are just unbelievably amazing, both visually and for explaining what actually is happening in the game. And this game's like so complicated, so the VFX are really important to sell, like to tell people what's happening. And Zach, Chuck, Neil, Dimitro, all of our VFX artists are unbelievable and have always come up with great solutions for getting what we need to message across.
Speaking of that, do we want to mention the art station?
Yeah, why not? Sasha, do you want to talk a little bit about ArtStation?
Absolutely, yeah. So on Thursday, I believe in the afternoon, on ArtStation, Mantic art team will be dropping all the cool art we've made over the years of development out of time. So if you head to artstation.com on Thursday, you should be able to see lots of cool art. There will be an article, and all the artists' names and their portfolios will be listed there with their best work. So you can go directly and really look at all the behind the scenes, and also very cool shots of the vistas and different worlds, and something hard to notice in the game because of all the super impactful action. But there you can dive in and really enjoy.
I couldn't help but laugh when you said article, because I thought you were making a play on words, and I was like, "That's
he was.
Awesome. That's awesome." So that's incredible, and you're absolutely right. I think one of the things personally that I find that I take for granted is all of the little ambient artwork that you see around the world and around the room in games. And so I try and take more of a conscious effort of just kind of looking at all of the little details because there's so much of it. And so bravo to the whole team, and I can't wait to see the art station come online. And we'll share that through our socials and on Discord as well. Speaking of art though, Sasha, we also, with this release on Steam, we also included an art book and some wallpapers as well that people can download and use on their local PCs. Is that right?
Yes, definitely. Like it's going to be, I believe, like 20 pages art book where we pick the best concept artwork from the development of Out of Time, and there's additional, and there's additional commentary and some of the work processes.
And the soundtrack and the wallpaper, that's all part of the Digital Deluxe Edition, which also comes with exclusive skins and mounts that you can get. So, it's up to you if you want that, but the art book is super cool. The soundtrack is super great. I think it's a good value.
I agree.
I like I said earlier, I completely adore our audio. Our music in Solarpunk is like so peaceful, and the boss music is great. It's dynamic. I cannot preach enough about how much I love our audio.
Absolutely. Solarpunk soundtrack is my favorite.
Me too.
That's what people are hearing right now.
Until cyberspace comes out.
Until cyberspace comes out.
The Solarpunk soundtrack is actually not that punk, right? It's more solar than punk. But...
It's more solar than punk, yeah.
It's more solar than punk. It kind of leans into the more like harmony and like of where we went with the people in tune with nature and clean energy.
I don't know. I could see Kenny G on a hill playing, like just jamming out to the smooth beats of Kenny G. So
The smooth beats of Nicky S.
We should give a shout out to the two audio folks who contributed, Matthew Pablo, and who did all the audio for Core and the early days of the game, and then of course Nick, who's been our audio guy for a few years now after a very glorious internship with us. He was so good that we decided to hire him, and now he's in charge of all our audio. And that's lots of work. You're looking at several years of work, and also it's not just the audio, the score, right? I mean, Nick is also doing lots of, all the audio effects, right? So it's a pretty busy guy and talented on top of that, of course.
yeah, it's incredible to see hear all the new VFX or the SFX, I guess, sound effects. I know when we were testing early on, and every time we would have a new playtest, there would be new audio, and the immersion was incredible. So I'm super happy to get to work with Nick. And Matthew Pablo he was hanging out a little while ago, and great guy. I was gonna ask another question, and I just don't remember what it was. Yeah, gosh, drawing a blank here. So, if you all aren't already, or you don't know already, by the way, we are running a contest on Gleam, where you can win one of 2 Steam decks, which will include some really cool custom artwork, including an out-of-time skin for your Steam deck. So that closes on December 25th. So we'll on the 25th we'll reach out to the winners and celebrate that day.
They're really cool. You should enter for sure.
Absolutely.
When they came down, I was like, man, I want one of those.
Mm-hmm. I still want one of those.
I still want one of them.
Yeah, exactly. So.
By the way,
you know my address. You can just mail one. It's fine.
Sure. Let me see.
Before about, 'cause I need to go back to real work. Some people in the community have called the game the multiplayer megabonk. So it's a very.
I love it.
I love it. I'll take it.
It's a compliment. We'll take it. Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll take that. I like that. Megabot was really popular.
Yeah. We'll definitely take that as a compliment. And it's I think if you're looking for that type of game, that type of sort of over the top roguelike, massive waves of mobs, but you want to play it with your friends, then I think Out of Time is sort of the game that you want.
I mean, personally, it's the game that I want. I don't really like playing solo anymore. I usually like sitting down with like 1 or 2 of my best friends. Like 4 people is perfect for me. 2 people is great too. And I really like how our game scales for your group size. So it's like it's not harder or easier if you're on 2 or 4. It's just a little different. Though it is easier to get loot if you're on 4.
I appreciate being called one of your best friends. That's great.
You are.
Thank you. So I found out today.
It's news to him.
This just we're fighting
I love
lion.
this boss. This boss is it's lithium ion, right?
Ah.
Lithium ion, but he's a lion.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he's like Voltron. Look, he's got like the Voltron wings. They come out. This is one of my favorite bosses we made for this release.
He should randomly explode.
Oh God! he just swells and like parts of his panels just explode.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. So, Jordan, because I have you here and I'm going to put you on the spot, what is WORM? The acronym for WORM. I still have nobody
Sure,
told me. I want to know.
Well, yeah. So it's a very good question. In the Wasteland we have a boss that is named Worm, WORM, all capitals with periods. People at Manticore know. Probably those you will be watching don't know. My dad, I'm actually a second-generation game developer. My dad worked at Electronic Arts in the 1980s, one of the first 10 employees at Electronic Arts, and he made a game back then called Worms. And spelled the same way with the capitals in it. And he has never told me what that stands for, so I cannot tell you what it stands for either.
Nope.
Oh, that is amazing. I had no idea.
I had no idea either. All right.
Yeah, and to be clear, it's not the Team 17 worms. It's not the artillery worms. It was a Atari 800 C64 math nerd game because my dad's a math nerd. But it was about these digital worms, and yeah, that's where that name comes from.
Nothing wrong with that. Perfect. All right. All right. Well, it looks like Frederick has jumped off. Thank you so much,
vanished.
Frederick, for jumping in. I'm looking at our Discord, and I just realized that we also have somebody else who's silently been here. Luape, are you here?
Oh, I've been discovered.
You have.
Oh, yeah. Paul,
kept you secret.
we got one of our engineers with us, one of our designers.
Hello.
Oh, why don't you tell what is your favorite loadout? Tell us, because you're
well, first of all, tell us who you are and what your role is.
Yeah, let's go with that first.
Yeah, tell us who you are.
Oh, well, my name is Paul, and my in-game name is Luapi, so I, Paul, backwards. I am one of the content developers. I help make abilities and bosses, yeah.
And balance.
Basically programming. Yes, the balance. A lot of things.
Yeah, Paul is one of the people who made all of our loadouts possible. Did a lot of prototyping for us. What was your favorite ability you worked on?
Oh, that's a great question. There's a lot of great abilities. I have to say the one that resonated a lot was Mr. Chompy. I really love that one.
I love Mr. Chompy. I don't have Mr.
Mr. Chompy is great. For those who don't know, Mr. Chompy is the armor ability from our lumberjack Freya, and you place down your belovedly named bear trap on the ground, and when an enemy steps on it, it animates and starts chasing people around and chomping them like an animated, like a ball and chain, kind of like those Mario guys, but it's a bear trap. And that one was one of the most amusing abilities I've ever seen come online for our game. That and Unusual Suspects, where you put everybody inside police tape.
Oh yeah, that is awesome. Sierra, the what you call it? Gosh, I don't know what I was going to say now. Sasha, let me ask you one quick question while I have you. The maps. How do you design these massive timeline maps? They're so beautiful and stunning, and I want to play onto this map.
Thank you. From the beginning, we thought we wanted some sort of overworld map. You see in all classic RPGs where you love that moments, like looking at the miniature worlds. And so as we set out to do that, we realized that there are a couple technical things in there. Like we really want these maps to be loaded real time on top of the active gameplay without waiting for load times, right? It means they had to be very light and performant, so they will be very snappy. And that actually dictates what type of approach you take. In this case, it's very low poly geometry, very simple materials and shaders. It's like very similar to how would you make something for a mobile game. So it needs to look beautiful, at the same time it needs to be very highly optimized. And I think that's what I enjoy most about these maps, because as a game developer who's came in the industry like almost 20 years ago, where polygons actually mattered and we counted every word, this is very similar.
Matter.
Well, no. You can now have millions of things and it should technically run well. Well, and once the art team finishes the wilds, I usually do the maps, and so far the only thing I can contribute to the game in my business schedule. I just study the overall map and see how I can simplify it to creating this miniature. And then just since we don't have any terrain capabilities in blueprints, you have to essentially mush like terrain chunks like geometry together to create
Is that the technical term?
Yeah. I invented this. Yeah, sure. So you put together the terrain first. Then Marcella and Charlie actually was helping on the POI buildings, like cute little buildings you see on the map. So I grabbed those and I started positioning them and I started decorating with small things and constantly checking my work against like a top view of the of the wilds, just seeing how close I can get like to accuracy and relationship between the zones and proportions and stuff like that. So it feels like a real miniature version of the wilds. Yeah, I think that's the kind of overview, the process.
The overview, the overworld map is stunning. I want to live there. I've said that. I will continue to say that. But you mentioned something, Sasha, and this will be for everybody in the room. You know, we've talked about and celebrated the fact that it's on Steam Deck, but we also know that Steam Deck is a handheld platform. How big of a challenge was it, or what was the kind of the biggest struggle bringing Out of Time to the Steam Deck, or was it?
It was a little challenging for sure. I mean, Steam Deck is not the most powerful piece of hardware. It is great though, hardware. It's but certain sacrifices had to be made. Our lead VFX and technical artist Neil, he dived in all the millions of parameters that Unreal provides under the hood and basically had to reconfigure every single thing to ensure the game not only runs well on Steam Deck, but also looks good. And it's a lot of hard work because you have to study, like read a lot of documentation to really understand what that specific parameter means, because it's way more than we usually surface to the end users, where you just slide quality, high, texture, stuff like that. That's like super detailed. And of course, engineering team, there's a lot of behind the scene optimizations and work with, I don't know, all sorts of things that I don't fully understand.
Yeah. That's why I asked you all.
to make it work.
Not even just like there was all the performance, but also like the screen is small.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So our UI team had to spend so much time getting the UI to work on a small screen.
Uh-oh, this mini boss is hurting me.
He's fast.
He's hurting. Yeah,
get him into the laser grid.
It's incredible to be able to sit down on and just kind of relax and play Out of Time on my Steam Deck. My cat wants to play Out of Time as well, so if you guys hear her, that's what's going on there. So, Jordan, I'm going to ask you.
I mean, everybody wants to play Out of Time.
What is your absolute favorite gear set? Like the one that you're the most proud of? Doesn't have to be the one you always play with, but just the one that you're most proud to see in the game.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple, and I can't take credit for them. So, but I'm going to mention them anyways. So, there is the Death Wheel, right? The Crash's Death Wheel. It's a Wasteland set. Sort of like Mad Max kind of. And it was prototyped originally by one of our VFX guys, Zach, right? And it completely changed. When I first saw that prototype, it completely changed how I was thinking about how we can even do abilities. And the dragon is actually a result of that, too. Like, you guys have the dragons on right now, right? Don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So Zach was the first one to sort of put together, hey, we can actually have an ability that changes your form of movement and changes what you look like, and you're riding this crazy death wheel. And he prototyped it all in Lua. That sort of opened my eyes from the design perspective of, I'm not thinking big enough about what we can do. And so now you can become a dragon in addition to the death wheel. And it just really changes how the game plays and feels. And it's just so impressive and cool looking. So those are my two favorite, and again, I take almost zero credit for them because I was not thinking big enough, and it really took Zach on the VFX team to sort of say, hey, look, we could actually do something like this. I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. Let's do that.
Zach also did got the prototype working for the Flame concert.
The Flame concert.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite abilities. It's you can summon. It's the same class. It's the actually no, it's not. It's the same era. It's from White Man. It's the Pyromaniac, and you're basically a rocker.
Yeah, I have his boots
and
on.
you have a flame guitar. Yeah, and so that's the pyrotechnics on screen from the boots. But the Q ability is you summon a platform and you stand on a flame concert. And it is amazing. And one of my other favorite abilities is also from that class. Jordan, do you remember when we named crowd surfing?
Yes. With the flame concert, so it's Flint is the character's name. He's a fire starter. Get it?
I love
Yeah,
it.
there you go. Tim got it. But the flame concert ability, we actually worked with the audio team with Nick, and one of our environment artists played the guitar. As you do the flame concert and you spin around, you hit these different nodes, and each one is a different note on a scale. And so you actually can jam out, and because they're all on a scale, on A minor pentatonic, I think we put it on, you can't sound bad. So you can just spin around and you play a guitar riff that will sound really good as you're spinning around. So that was a really fun one.
And it was actually played by one of our artists, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So are we hearing Guitar Hero controllers work? Is that...
Oh, I mean, someone can do it for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure someone can make that work.
That would be tragic. Paul, what would you say is your favorite set of gear?
For weapon, I do like the guitar. I really do. It's good when you're in a pinch where I mean like, oh, I'm in trouble. Then you go in on the stage, or if there's a lot of mobs around, you can use one of the abilities that chains. It sends notes and attacks each enemy in a chain. Really nice.
Flame Riff.
Mm-hmm.
Flame Riff, thank you.
Flame Riff was a balancing nightmare for our Epic release. That one did some weird combinatronics on us.
It is probably... I remember in Epic release too, it was also like OP at first.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It was really, really powerful.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I said, Paul, stop using the guitar, and Paul kept using the guitar.
Well, we just know that the person who played the music internally for us is just a really good artist. Really good musician.
Well, do they work for us? Then they're good.
Then they're great. Sasha, what about you? What is your favorite set of gear?
Well, I definitely like the dragon set the most because it's how many games out there let you play as a dragon?
Right.
Probably just one at a time.
I've heard of that game.
But yeah, I mean, lots of them are very cool. I do enjoy the mechanics in different gear sets that have like that stuff, sort of housing mechanic. Like for example, the Wastelander guy was the fire hose, right? And then now we have in Solarpunk, it's very similar, but now with water. I think it's just really fun to like this play power wash kind of simulator vibe that's like either burning your enemies or washing them away. It's very...
with the goop gun that's continuous, the water hydroponic one, and the flame guitar. Yeah, those ones are fun.
Yeah, I also love how the goop like just like covers all your enemies, and then you can explode them, so you can accumulate that streak.
That one big hit at the end, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
The goop gun also absolutely destroys bosses, doesn't it?
It does, because it does max percent health damage as on the dot. On the damage over time. Mm-hmm. So it's actually interesting on a boss. You actually don't want to hit the button to explode it because that will take the damage over time off and do flat damage. But on minions, you do want to explode it because the flat damage will be higher than the percent max of their health. And so lots of little interactions and strategies to learn.
I think that's a really poignant fact too, Jordan. Is that on the surface you can jump in and play. You don't need to worry about kind of the min-max mentality. I can alliterate too, but nice. But there are a ton of different abilities and a ton of different stats that really impact the way that you can play those games. And so we had talked about the harder Shattered difficulties up to Shattered 20 now. You're gonna have to really dig deep to get into those higher Shattered levels and really kind of consider what stats are going to be the most important or impactful for you and your entire squad, because it is not just a single person running.
Right. And that's something really unique. It's actually criminal that I haven't mentioned this yet. For people who haven't played Out of Time or are new to Out of Time, when you are playing with a squad and you're sharing all your stats, I mean all your stats. So what that means is that if you take a full tank set of gear with high armor and high max health, your whole squad gets that max health and that armor rating as long as they stay connected with your tether, right? So you can really sort of with your when you're with a squad of 4, you can still play the role of tank in Out of Time, but it's different than playing it in a different MMO. In a different MMO, if you're playing a tank, your job is to take all the damage for the team and do all the crowd control and hold all the aggro. And Out of Time, you're as a tank, your function is to provide tankiness to the entire team and allow the entire team to take damage. So it's a really sort of that tether mechanic really changes how you think about putting together a squad and how you think about your role, but you still get the identity of that role. You still are the one who's allowing the team to take the damage by bringing that max health to the team.
Yeah.
One way, if you've ever played, sorry, just real quick, if you've ever played like game like puzzles, mobile games like Puzzles and Dragons or Summoner's Wars, it's sort of the same thing with your squad there. Your squad health in those games is 1 health bar, and so if you bring 1 tank monster, your health bar gets much bigger. So you can sort of think of your squad almost in Out of Time as a single character who gets the summation of all the stats of the characters.
Perfect. And that's the one thing about that is with loot also, Jordan. If you play with more people, you get more loot, right?
That is correct. And you don't split the resources that you gather either. Everyone gets a copy of the gold and the resources. So you're never penalized for playing with more players. You only benefit by bringing more players into a run with you. And really, I think our drop rates for rares and legendaries and stuff is actually pretty generous. But think about it times 4 when you're playing with 4 players, right? So if the drop rate for a legendary is 2%, well, if you play with 4 players, it's 8%.
Right. And so
somewhere around there.
At Shattered 20, I think the drop percent for a legendary is 6.5%. So
yeah,
that makes it appealing to play with friends. And there's also a couple of options to do that, right? We have quick play. So in the upper right hand corner, you can hold Q and that'll get you into a quick play. But you can also queue for a specific zone if you wanted to.
Exactly.
Excuse me. So let's see. And so now Misa and I are going to go into the final launch complex, and hopefully we'll get another blue.
Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine.
This is not the one that has the worm that multiplies and annihilates people or anything.
Yeah. Okay, I don't believe you.
We'll be fine.
Everything is fine here. What's fine? So I've got more questions if y'all want, or we can just keep playing.
I might have to jump off.
Absolutely.
Another meeting to go to, but thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for learning about Out of Time. It's been a real pleasure making the game. We hope you have a lot of fun playing the game. Pick it up on Steam now. Play it on your PC. Play it on Steam Deck. It is a lot of fun. Squad up with your friends. Squad up with strangers. Everyone, our community is super actually nice and friendly. Like it's a pure co-op game. So there's really no reason to not be nice.
Yeah, exactly. So
awesome.
And the game really helps you if you want to help your friends out. If you've got better gear because of all that stat sharing, it's really easy for you to go in and help play on the lower difficulties and get your friends caught up. And so it's one of the games that I find it's really good if you have a friend that you want to get involved and you don't want to rush and if it's like an regular MMO, you're going to sit there for forever trying to get them caught up. But here, no, you can play right away.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan. He's going to go make more cool stuff for Out of Time.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to go as well. I have a meeting to go to. Artists are waiting for me for review. Thanks so much for having me.
Run the show, Tim.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Thank you so much for being here, Sasha. And absolutely fantastic work to the entire team. It's such an incredibly beautiful game.
I'll let the team know. Thanks so much. See you guys. Hope you enjoy Out of Time.
Absolutely. All right. So we're gonna dominate now, Misa.
Yeah, now we can focus, and the inmates are running the asylum. The directors are gone. The C-level folks are gone. Now you get me. That's bad.
You'll be fine.
If you need backup, I'm
Paul's
here
here
too.
Oh yeah, see, Paul. We got Paul. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I stepped off that out of the order. Aura.
Don't step out of the aura. All right.
Yeah, I'm so excited for all of the new stuff that just launched and all the stuff that's coming. Like it is. This game is really fun for me.
I'm excited for the content release right now that we're on Steam. Now it's full steam ahead to some content, more awesome, more updates, more
dad jokes.
There's never enough dad jokes. I haven't even shared a dad joke on this stream yet. Like
you just did.
Did I? That wasn't a dad
joke. Full steam ahead.
That's
I got
not
it.
A dad joke. That was colloquially. That's natural. That's just normal Tim speak. Maybe a dad joke. In fact, all of my messages.
Your normal speech is a dad joke.
That's fair. That is very fair. I don't know why I'm like this either.
Yeah, why are you the way you are, Tim?
I don't know. Because it makes me feel funny. Because I laugh at myself.
Man, that's why I made a poor decision for standing right on top of that beacon. Yeah. That was not a place to stand.
That is not where you go. All right, let's see. All right. So get this tangle.
Where are you, Einstein?
So this new tangle POI, we have to save Mr. Einstein from himself.
Correct.
Right. He has decided.
In previous POIs, he's already in his capsule and just needs to be saved and sent off back into his correct timeline. In this one, he is too busy doing some research and not paying attention to his time capsule. Yeah. We actually have one that's in development that's going to be real fun for the future, which I have no problem spoiling. But we are looking into making it so you can save Jeanne d'Arc, and maybe she will help you out for a little bit. It'll be fun.
Oh, that sounds appealing.
We have the fully modeled Sword of Saint Catherine, so we got to use it somewhere, right?
That's awesome. Yeah, that'll be great. And I don't know if people really know this, but there are a couple of different historical characters. I don't know if I've seen Mr. Darwin since we started playing today.
We are currently, so Darwin is we have a POI or a Tangle hotspot for him being developed, but he is not currently in game. But we do plan on using Darwin.
So he's...
There are actually a few other historic NPCs that we wanted to use, and I'm not going to mention which ones, but there was a couple that we actually had some. We can't use them because of their estates. So we had to cut a few that we wanted to use, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's. But there, yeah, Mary Curie is one. We've talked about them in the past, and as we were building out the old MMO. Why am I outside of the aura?
I clicked on the wrong thing.
I thought I went the wrong way. But we historical figures were a really big part of that, and so we have a lot of different historical figures. In like Einstein, Mary Curie, Jeanne d'Arc, Darwin. We mentioned. Who else have I seen? Sun Tzu, I think, at one point.
Yes, we do want to do one with him too.
Yeah. So, really fortunate to this overarching theme for Out of Time really opens up. Like Jordan said earlier, there's nothing that can't fit into the past, present, or future.
Yeah, the one that we're doing the mock-ups for Darwin, we also did a mock-up for Sun Tzu with a giant dragon axe.
That's awesome. I think there was also...
Yeah, he's really cool. I think we have his model. I don't think it's fully animated yet.
I thought we also had somebody from like a Mayan ruler.
Yeah, I can't remember which one. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. Willie Smackard said, "How about Solo? Like Han Solo? We would get trouble for that.
I would love to put other IP historical NPCs in, but that would require a little bit more collaboration with other companies.
Yeah, for sure. I would.
I do think that our game does lend itself well for crossovers because, like you said, with the timelines, like we can put anything in. But obviously that's a little bit complicated.
It's a bit bigger of a project, I think. But yeah, I think
at other companies I've done like cross-company collaborations where we did like if you play our game, you'll get an item for their game and stuff like that, and they are surprisingly complicated to set up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still want to do it. Doesn't mean I don't want to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, doesn't mean just because it's complicated doesn't mean I don't want to do it. But yeah, it was
I think
just
that's
one of those
why
thoughts
we
that I had at
want
one
to do
point.
it, right? I think somebody in the
Yeah,
60s
part of the
said,
reason, yeah, the more complicated it makes it worth doing, right?
not because it's easy, but because it's hard. I think is a quote attributed to sometime in the 60s. All right. So
I wasn't born in the '60s. I don't know any quotes from the '60s.
JFK when he said we were going to go to the moon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some important person like that.
Somebody, yeah. So one of the cool things that we haven't really talked about is the tangle and the fact that we're clearing this tangle. So each map is covered 100%. Well, I would say 98% because there's that safe zone in the beginning, but I won't count that. And as you progress through the map, you're clearing that tangle. And as we progress, as the time ticks on, the mobs get more and more powerful. And unless we do something like kill them, we don't get more powerful. So we could theoretically be ridiculously underpowered. Oh, we're not. We are ridiculously overpowered for this one, I think.
That would be because there is a minor experience bug that we triggered in and gave us a lot of experience.
Uh-oh.
It has been fixed.
Awesome.
but I'm honest, and I'm not going to lie about that one.
Appreciate you. Let's see. All right.
Yeah, like we have some known issues. We're trying to resolve those as quickly as possible.
If you
preferably
run into
before, if you run into any issues, you let us know because we really do care, and we want to fix them as fast as possible.
In fact, yesterday we just to kind of pat the teams back a little bit. Yesterday there was an issue with the key bindings not saving through runs in Cyberpunk, and that we discovered it was reported in the morning by a couple of players, and by mid-afternoon it was fixed.
Thank you, players. I'm sorry.
We didn't have to do a client release or anything like that. It was a really great opportunity for us to be able to kind of fix that bug without having to publish an update. So it was great.
It's funny. It was. So I'm not one of the most technical of our. I'm nothing like Paul. I'm not one of the more technical people on our team. I'm decent with it, but the fact that we managed to figure out, and the person who fixed it actually just joined the call. We did this in a meeting. One of our engineers figured out like, oh, there's a file that's in the wrong location that just needs to be deleted. And Peter, one of our other engineers, is like, this file? You want me just to delete that? And so we deleted it, and we're able to push that fix out like within an hour or so, which because it didn't require a build. So that was really cool.
Hi, Commander Fu.
Great job, Peter. Oh, hello.
Hi, Peter. You want to say hi? You're on the stream. You're live.
Oh, no. Are you still streaming? I didn't realize.
You're live.
Hello.
Everybody can hear you. Say hi to the players.
Say hi to the world.
Hello.
Hello. World.
Yeah, I was.
Peter is one of our also like Paul, one of our engineers who works a lot with enemies and bosses and game balance.
I'd like to think he works with friends, not enemies.
I was taking a break, and I thought I'd get it downloaded on my my Steam Deck, and it's crazy that you can play this on Steam Deck.
Right?
Isn't it great?
First time. Yeah, it's the first time I've tried it because I didn't get the dev version set up, but this is crazy.
I don't know if the community can tell or not, but we're all really happy with the game. We're like,
yes.
Everyone's like, I can't believe I can do it. We're so happy, and it's just been an incredible ride. So,
a lot of
oh my god, my boots!
Yay!
Sorry, those are my favorite boots.
Oh, congrats!
Rocket boots. Now we have no heels. Sorry.
All right, Paul or Peter, you want to join us?
You want
Yeah,
to
sure.
run?
I'm actually in a run with another group at the moment, but
That's fine.
I will join the next one.
We understand how much you hate us.
Love you guys.
Well, that's okay. I accidentally just closed my client.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was
good
fun.
job, Tom.
That was
That's
fun.
hilarious.
So, I'm gonna reload my game here.
These things happen. These things happen in war.
In war never changes, does it?
No.
All right. Well,
Someone in chat asked if there were any Steam codes.
there might be. Should we give one away? We could.
We could.
I'm not against giving one away.
I'm not against giving away a couple of codes. If you want to
think
give away a few codes, I'm cool with that.
I think what we could do is I'll tell you what. I'm gonna pick a number in my head.
5.
That's not in you are not in my head.
God
On
damn
your
it.
head.
Oh shoot.
I'm trying to help out Onyx here.
Get out of my head, Charles.
All right, I suppose. Pick a number 1 through 15, because we're a 15-minute run. And I'm going to send a DM to Misa with the number.
All right, send me that number. If it's not my lucky number, I'm going to be real disappointed. I lived in an apartment with that number growing up, actually.
All right, so number 1 through 15. And I think we're going to have another awesome guest joining us here in just a moment. Let's see.
I'm in the neighborhood. I'm ready.
I tried to get Jacob to join, but he said no.
All right, well, this is a...
The real reason we wanted Jacob was for his cat. But yeah, I know we've been ranting and raving about how great everybody has been, but like this project has a lot of really talented folks who worked really hard, and we're super like we've been gushing because this is a lot of work, and we spent a lot of time on this one, and it's really, really fun.
Speaking of spending a lot of time,
we really enjoy. Oh, it's Ryan.
It's right. Welcome, Mr. Bigglebuns.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I've been listening in, but I thought I'd hop in and say hi.
Oh, well, I'm going to put you out on the spot, Mr. Bigglebuns. What is your role here at Manticore?
The design director, so I'm really involved in all the content design and the abilities and the game balancing and a lot of different features that we're kind of working on for upcoming releases. So yeah, a lot of things related to the game feel and the game experience and all the different content. Yeah.
What's awesome. Your favorite class? We did everybody else, so you just joined, so we got to get you, and we also got to get that to Peter as well. So
yeah, I agreed with some of the ones that were mentioned. I really like one of the ones that Paul worked on. We iterated on a lot, which was the SWAT ability where you run around in the tiny police car and collect up the mobs. Unusual suspect.
Yeah.
Just every single time I use that, it cracks me up. And it's pretty effective too. I think it's a great combo. In the game. Yeah. It's not quite invulnerability, but it makes you pretty durable.
It also is really cool if you place it inside of like somebody's like either Tesla tower or laser grid, right? And so you can like teleport enemies into the laser grid or Tesla tower and just die.
Yeah, that one I like a lot. I'm a big fan of the longbow weapon. That one has some really interesting evolves. If you can upgrade that one all the way, you can do some really cool combos with the snare shot and the aim shot together, because the aim shot resets your cooldown if you get enough kills with it. So you can fire off in the right circumstances a massive like barrage of bullets with it. So I really, really enjoy that one as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, the classes, the gear sets, the fact that I could be a dragon, all of these things are incredible. So you said, well, I know who you are, Ryan. I'm going to pretend that I don't, though. So as the design director, what does your day-to-day look like when it comes to building out a game of this scale?
It's really just it's a lot of playing the game and experiencing everything and chatting with folks and sort of giving direction on kind of ways that we think the game can get better, and looking at game balancing. A lot of the work that I do is sort of pointing people at one thing or another, where I'm like, hey, I'm not going to tell you how to fix it or exactly what to do, but this is the thing I think could be improved a little bit. So yeah, it's a lot of conversations and trying to look at as much of the game experience as possible, and especially recently making sure it's all balanced and all the different pieces of gear and the abilities that you get are all fun and they feel viable. I don't want anybody to get something and feel like, oh, that was a stinker, that wasn't good enough compared to something I already have. Everything should feel like it has a way that fits into the puzzle or a cool combination that you can do. So a lot of looking at data, looking at numbers. I probably spend 2 hours a day staring at statistics data from runs and spreadsheets and things, trying to figure out
that statistics command.
Yep. A lot of eye strain looking at numbers.
Well, I don't envy you for that. So we asked some questions earlier, Ryan, and I love that you're here. I'm so happy that you joined. Do you remember the first version of Out of Time that was actually fun, even if it was super rough?
Yeah, I honestly, it was fun right away. Just being able to fight a huge number of enemies and kill them with different abilities was something that Jordan was talking about earlier. But when I saw it just a little bit after he had prototyped it, and it was just instantly really, really fun. Fighting in an MMO style where it's kind of like a couple enemies at once. It's a little bit slow. It doesn't have that kind of extreme rush of I killed 20 or 30 or 40 guys with this one ability. So very early it was fun. It was just a question from there of how do we build out the game loop to make it sort of a robust system. And it was kind of like the base mechanic was almost immediately fun within a week of the prototype, and it just kind of it got bigger from there. And we kind of we tried a few different approaches to figuring out the game loop and getting it to be the right time frame and having different and interesting mechanics. So yeah, it was very, very early. I mean, honestly, like a week in, there was something there that was strong.
Because we had far different kind of group mechanics back then. I don't think the tether even existed.
The tether existed pretty early on, but we weren't 100% sure of how we wanted to handle it.
Right.
Yes.
I'm not gonna get us killed.
Yeah, we originally, I think, when one of the earliest prototypes, it was much more of the sort of classic sort of survive waves of enemies. But we really wanted to expand that mechanic to just be like, hey, you're not just staying in one spot or moving just a small distance around a map while the enemies come, and it gets harder and harder. Like many of the Bullet Haven, or the Vampire Survivor genre games, we wanted you to move through the environment, so there was sort of a lot more to explore, and so that was part of kind of the effort to create a little bit more kind of like exploration and sort of dynamic experiences going through the map.
We just got a mini boss. So sorry. Speaking of dynamics.
Sorry.
We just got a mini boss from the temporal dive from using my.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of die.
Oh my god!
I died.
What did that to you?
Something. I don't know. I was gonna say something smart, but I don't know. Commander. Oh, hey, at least we.
Hey.
Nice. So where did the idea that abilities come from gear come from? Because it's a really neat mechanic. It's not something normally you get a class and that's it.
Yeah. Where did that come from? I mean, it's something Jordan and I have been talking about
that was from the very
forever.
Beginning, right?
Yeah, I mean, for a very long time we've been talking about that idea.
It was even in the MMO, right?
Yeah. It was before Out of Time even existed as an idea. I mean, I think it's a game design wise, it's a really nice mechanic that doesn't sort of lock you into the idea of like, okay, I'm one class and that's kind of what I pick at the beginning of the game, and that all my sort of game choices and behavior are in that capsule of whatever that class is. And so the gear is sort of an elegant way that combines what you're what you're actually pursuing and collecting, while giving you some agency to be like, hey, I want to be this combo of class, or like find this new version, or just play as a pure class. I just only want to focus on healing people. Like, that's okay too. So, but yeah, trying to think of the answer to your question. It was, I don't really know, to be honest. It was a long time ago in the past.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, this game has been evolving for quite a while, and I think the MMO was a lot of fun, and I think Out of Time is so much more fun. But it's funny you mentioned this is one thing that I don't know that we've ever really talked about wildly is the name of the safe haven in Out of Time is Infinitopia, and for a while that was the name of the game that we were calling it internally is Infinitopia, and so it's really cool to see all of this come together and the work. I remember the first prototype that we ever played. Gosh, it was just over a year and a half ago, wasn't it? Something like that.
About yeah.
And so the game has just been so incredible and evolving since, and so absolute bravo to the entire team. I'm going to ask this question to everybody in the room. What would you say is the hardest part of building out a game like this? In the design,
balancing it, 1000% balancing it. The game is like I've worked on Magic the Gathering, I've worked on Dungeons and Dragons, I've worked on some pretty complicated games. This game is like a combinatronics like nightmare, right? So like I don't want to say the word nightmare in the sense that like it's bad, but like because you can have so many combinations, it is so hard for us to balance it, because an ability that seems like it is not good in one situation becomes unbelievably powerful in another situation, and then the next thing you know, whoa! I just got obliterated. It's the mini boss.
Yeah, and there's no revives. There's no more like I forgot that's one of the updates now.
No, we have unlimited. We have unlimited revives if he can survive.
That's what I mean. There are no revive like limits anymore. It used to be. You used to only have.
There used to be, yeah.
But now on normal and hard, that is gone.
That true kit is one of the best items in the game.
Oh, congrats.
So balance, great. That easy.
Yeah, balance. It's just because there's so many different ways for players and things to get more difficult, to get easier, to there's just so many ways that this game has like little like, oh, we didn't notice that one little trick that balance.
Yeah,
it's balance.
All right, fair enough. Well then, again, a question for everybody. What's your favorite thing to watch new players experience?
Dying. No, I don't know.
Dying? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Suffering.
I actually really like when they discover like a specific pair of boots. Usually it's the boots that I like for people to see, because they're like the movement that they change how you move around the map. And every once in a while somebody will be like, oh my god, I just found this pair of boots, and it's super awesome, and I like seeing that moment. Especially when it's a pair of boots that I'm like, these boots are not for me. Because I like not everything has to be for us, but it's nice to see that, like, even if I don't like that item, other people do.
Fair enough. What about you?
I don't like every item we build. I will say that for sure.
Yeah.
There are weapons that I just don't use. And I see other people like, oh yeah, my favorite weapon's the Gatling gun. I'm like, God, I don't like that one.
Yeah, I feel you there. The Gatling gun is super powerful, but it's just not my playstyle.
It's not for me. Like I see why you like it, but I don't.
No, but I think that's what's cool about Out of Time is that I haven't done the math, but somebody I'm sure could. But with 24 gear sets, we had 190 million gear combinations. We have 26 now, and I don't know what that ends up going.
It goes up by a lot more because combinatronics.
Yep. So we need to kill the mini boss first.
Oh yeah, otherwise he's gonna actually probably kill us.
Yeah, but I want his loot too.
It's hard to pinpoint any one thing in particular, but personally, I really enjoy watching new players that just get to experience the game for the first time and seeing how chaotic it can all be, how many things are going on at the same time, and for them to actually win their first game is like so fun to see.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think, honestly, for me, I think the biggest thing is every time I watch somebody hit E on the dragon chest. That's it.
For me, it's every
Right?
time Tim goes down.
Listen, I'm just trying to show people how the revive mechanics work. So
Go, Tim.
This fight is actually hard.
Great job demonstrating it, Tim.
Thank you. I didn't. I don't want to. Yeah, this boss is really hard.
I
I don't know.
have
2.5
I have no
million
heal
health.
here, so good luck.
I don't either. I think that might be.
No,
Yeah.
a lot of
I
people
would say-
have been.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say just for stuff that I really enjoy watching is just when players kind of start strategizing about like different combinations. I think that's one of the most fun parts of the game is figuring out like, okay, if I bring this and you bring this, like how can we pair up and sort of like I'm very much like I enjoy the sort of min-maxiness of games and figuring out like how do you get the best combos and really nice.
I don't know which one I want though. Dawn's Darkness
Oh,
Distillers.
the hydroponics boots and the darkness dispellers.
But
Darkness
I'm gonna go with
dispellers.
weapon because yeah, weapons. There's a limited number of weapons. Awesome, Obionics. Glad to see it. Glad to hear it. Listen, we've been going for gosh. I didn't realize that it was already almost 2 hours into this stream already. Gosh.
Look at
If
that.
you invite me, I'll
This is
get
a
in on
perfect
one.
run. We got 4 items,
Yeah. Let's.
and they're all blue.
If are you in?
I mean, yeah, Biggles is the.
Thanks, Void Fox. It is hella fun. Biggles. Let's see. There we go. Join us, Mr. Biggles. All right. Commander Fu over here with his 50 or 42,000 show off.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to some people.
Well, that's fair. Oh, hey, look.
Let me get my weapon equipped
I did the same thing. And my necklace.
and my ring.
And my ring, yep.
Oh, I might switch to that necklace too. Yeah, I'm going to go.
Oh, yeah, I think I want to go to the rocket boots, too. I just need
Rock boots.
Yep.
I love me those boots.
But we don't have any heals, so maybe
I don't have any heals. I'm baddie.
maybe I'll use the... I wish I had the Draconis head. So... Oh, awesome.
I have that on my play account, but we're on my dev account, so...
Oh, look at the wolf. Freak bananas on a wolf. Oh, gosh, this was a question I wanted to ask earlier. From an art perspective, how much of the art, how much of the models, and how much of the characters that we see are made outside and then imported, and how much of it is kit bashed, or is any of it kit bashed?
Pretty much all of it's made for the game. We don't really kit bash any gear sets. They're all pre-made or bespoke from either one of our other projects here in core or for this game. A lot of our work involved actually, surprisingly, a decent amount of our gear was like made either for like a masculine body type or a feminine body type, and not for both. So a lot of our time was spent converting a lot of gear sets so that it worked on both masculine and feminine body types. But yeah, as far as gear goes, we pretty much don't kit bash anything. It's all bespoke. We do kit bash when we're like early on in the process when we're prototyping. Like so, the hydroponics weapon, which is like a super soaker, basically, like at the original, we just took an existing gun and attached placeholder VFX to it. And made it look slightly different, but it was replaced by the actual asset as soon as our character team and animators, like Evan, Christian, and Boyce and Sierra were able to get to it and make something kind of custom and bespoke.
Awesome.
And like even when like so every once in a while we'll like kit bash something and put something onto it to like prototype it. Like for the hydroponic weapon, we actually after we had the real asset, we decided we wanted to add a nutrient container to it, so it actually showed more what the nutrients like on screen, how much nutrients you had, and it we did that with a kit bash, and then one of our artists came in, one of our character artists came in and was like, do we want to make this permanent? And we're like, yeah. And so then we went and put that on a permanent. We built that into the item rather than kit bashing it and leaving it there as a hack together piece. We try to, Core is really good about letting us do kit bashes and, like, I hate to say it, but like hack something together real fast. But it's also really good about letting us replace it with the right asset really quickly. We also have something called like Blue Shift, where we convert our prototype assets into like really solid final assets that we use in the process that are high performance. Because we don't. The problem with kit bashing generally is that if you do it, you end up with a less performant piece of technology. And so we really, especially with the Steam Deck, it's really important to have solid performance. There's another POI back where we passed from if you want to go back and grab it.
I've also heard, and I haven't played on my Steam Deck yet, but I've also heard that it is so performant on the Steam Deck that people were talking about pretty incredible frame rates.
Yeah, it's surprising. One of our directors told us what he was getting on his. We don't think we need to chase after that thing, but he told us what he was getting on his Steam Deck, and I was like, wow, yeah. I'm surprised. Surprised and happy.
Surprised and happy. All right. Is there a system or a mechanic or something that was built that you're pleasantly surprised with how it's evolved?
If I'm going to be honest, the tether.
I'd say
I was super nervous when we were doing that. I was like, wow. And we did a lot of iteration. At one point, we were like, do we do it like chained together? Do we just make it so you can't break it? And then we made it so that no, we do want you to have like that agency. But then what happened is when you broke the tether, you lose all your stat share, and then you'd like kind of die instantly. And it got significantly improved recently with like visuals as the tether starts showing sparks like it's gonna break. And once we got that fully functional, I'm like, oh yeah, I did not expect the tether to be as good as it is.
Yeah.
On a personal level.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it definitely took a lot of iteration. There were a lot of different sort of competing design ideas around how to make it work and get the right level of sort of like visual clarity and connectedness and understand, like, you know, there's so much going on visually in the game. It's really challenging sometimes to process it, and it needs to be clear. I think that that turned out to have a really nice balance where you sort of, you know, you lose stats and you take damage when you're disconnected, so you get sort of the reinforcement of you need to stay together, but you have a little bit of wiggle room where you can, you know, go grab something and.
Yeah, I think when the tether first dropped, I was not a fan of the idea of it, but now I couldn't imagine playing without it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Like, I don't like the solo. I'll play single player all the time, but I always feel like there's something missing. I always feel like I have to run back to my friend because I don't have a tether. But it's such a cool mechanic, and I don't know that I've seen anything quite like it, because ultimately, Ryan, our stats are shared. All of our stats are shared, correct?
Yes, almost entirely correct.
There's
specifically, there are some
stats
that are partially shared, and movement speed is not shared. So when you take a movement speed bonus, you're getting that just for yourself. And that was one that we sort of observed early on, was that, you know, move speed is very, very important in the game and how it's balanced. And if you exceed the speed of mobs, the game changes pretty fundamentally. And if everyone is sharing that, then things basically become kind of broken in a not fun way, where it's sort of too easy, and then the whole mechanic
became almost trivial when we were sharing movement speed. Remember, like, it was.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, because
we had to give so little of it that you didn't notice it when you got it, but because it's shared, or we had to not share it. And
Yep.
That's
Yeah. So yeah, movement speed does not share, and especially because the main mechanic is you're exploring the map, and if you can just trivialize how quickly you can explore the map, that's kind of also a problem. So that one we do not share, and then we partially share armor and crit chance.
And crit chance is shared in a slightly different manner than armor as well. They have slightly different behaviors. Crit chance, when you get it, it shares at a percentage, so you get like 33% of it shares with your teammates. And armor, it's fully shared, but your armor value is normalized. So it's like your armor's combined and then divided by 4. So it's slightly different. There's a little bit of nuance to how some of the stats share.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but other than those, when you're taking a stat, you're giving all of your value to the other 3 players in your squad. So the stat upgrades might not seem like a lot, but when you consider that you're sharing it, I just got a 33% damage upgrade, but that's actually going to everyone. Everyone's getting that upgrade. So it's a huge value to the squad, and it's kind of tempting to evolve your abilities in a group first because those seem more powerful, but in reality, it's closer than it seems initially. There might be cases where the ability to evolve is better, or there might be cases where the stats much better.
Peter, your boss kind of just fell over.
We just kind of.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed about that.
Well, we are on normal, and you are on
We're
40K
normal, yeah.
armor. So
Yeah.
Carl's tactic.
that is.
Oh, this is only normal?
Yes.
That was normal.
Yeah.
I see.
Feel better?
Yeah, that's okay.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna go. I can talk to you. We've been going now for 2 hours. It has been an incredible day. We have so much more coming out this week. We have more streams going on. Make sure you guys are sharing out of time with your friends. Jono Dog looks fun, and we'll have to see if I can convince my friends to get. Let me know. I'll help you convince your friends. We can get on a 3-way call. It's fine. We'll sort that out, Jonah. Let me know.
Yeah. Do you need me to call that? You call your friends and say, "Hey, buy my game."
Yeah.
I'll do it.
We'll do it right now.
I'll do it
on the
Give
stream.
me the number.
That would be hilarious.
That would be so funny.
That would be hilarious. I almost kind of. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna try and make that happen.
Hi, this is Tim from Manticore Games. Have you considered playing Out of Time with your friend Jono Dog?
Have you heard of Jono Dog?
We've been trying to reach you about your extended Out of Time warranty.
That's fantastic. Well, with that said, we are going to call it here. I want to thank Frederick, Jordan, and Sasha, who joined us a little bit earlier. I had to run and continue to move the needles. Misa, thank you so much for sticking with us the entire
Anytime.
time. Ryan, absolute pleasure to have you on the stream. Thank you so much for sharing all the info. Awesome work to you and the entire team. Paul, Peter, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for jumping in. I'm going to turn it over to you all if there's anything you want to say before we sign off for the day.
Thank you, everybody, for playing and tuning in. I'm super excited to get this game out the door. We've been working on it really hard for this for a decent amount of time now. It's been, almost a year and a half, 2 years on this specific iteration of the game. And we've been working real long and hard. And I want to thank the team for putting in that extra hours and putting in those the late nights. And but this is gorgeous. This is one of my favorite games I've ever gotten a chance to work on. So it's been a real pleasure, and I'm super happy that everybody's out there able to play it. And I can't wait to see what comes next and see how people react to the next stuff, our next couple classes and loadouts. And I'm just stoked. My California's coming out.
It's okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. We will see you all in the next stream. I'm gonna raid another stream. We'll figure out who that's gonna be. But thank you all so much for jumping in, and have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you in Infinitopia.